Hey guys, it's Coffee. Welcome back to Asagao Academy. We have a lot of journal entries to get through this time. Because a lot happened last episode. So, here we go. Dear Diary, I thought I was on such good terms with Shane now, but apparently not. Shane outright said that I wasn't ready to be on the team, and accused me of basically using them. I just started. Of course I wouldn't be very good. But maybe that's his point. Dear Diary, I bothered Ian today. I hadn't spoken to him much, but I knew he was the puzzle guy for HB, and I wanted to practice with him. I'm honestly kind of proud I did. Dear Diary, I finally finished the flag I was making for Shane, but apparently I got all the colors wrong. How could the internet lie to me like that? I still hope he enjoys it. Dear Diary, I almost killed Shane today! I messed up the fish and chips and he almost died! I'm glad he's okay now, but I want nothing more than to disappear. Yeah, that's right. We have tried to impress Shane by just making him things, including very spicy fish. So he's not too happy with us right now. Yeah, so let's hope our relationship gets a little better in this episode. Let's continue. Shane was gone for 2 days. John had to bring him his homework and he didn't even come to meals. He was so sick. I was consumed with guilt every second. It was my fault. Everything. What else could it be? I slouched into my seat, absent-mindedly doodling a sad stickman onto my homework. Then Mai hit me. What was that for? She was looking at something. Shane was walking through the door, avoiding eye contact with everyone. He promptly slid into his desk and started talking quietly with PBG. I told you he didn't die. Mai did this thing where she tried to whisper, but ended up not doing it at all. It just sounded like an especially breathy statement. PBG looked over at us. My eyes never went to my desk faster. Well, I know I didn't kill him. My retort was a little rougher than I meant, and my smile faded. Sorry, I've been stressed. I wonder why he was gone so long. It was just Pepper. Does he shrivel up when he touches Pepper? Like a slug? I'm pretty sure that's salt, right? Mai stuck her tongue out and curled her arms in front of her like a blend between a T-Rex and a 2,000-year-old mummy. I couldn't help but laugh. With slugs, it's salt, not pepper. See? I knew it. Okay, fine. He was like a snail, not a slug. Happy? She curled up again. I didn't even try to correct her this time. I had to apologize to Shane as soon as possible. Today was the only day, and would probably be the only day, where I would ever want to work in a group, just so I could run over there and get it over with. But the class ended up being a silent lecture, as boring as ever. Hana? Hana Mizuno? I snapped out of my stupor. The class went completely silent. Yes? You're needed in the front office. I froze. No one ever gets called to the office in the middle of class. Had my spicy criminal ways been finally revealed? I don't understand why they couldn't just wait until after class, but you're free to go. She sighed heavily and shrugged. Is anyone even running this school anymore? Hana, gather your things. There are 5 minutes left of class, so just go to lunch after you finish your little trip down the hall. I quickly packed up. As I passed her desk, Miss Shizuka licked her thumb and picked a sheet of paper off her desk. Homework. See you tomorrow. The second I took the paper from her, she continued her lecture from where she left off. I went to the office, ready to admit my wrongdoing to the headmaster or whoever would be there to scold me. I gave the slip of paper to the girl, who was for some reason working the desk. Hi, Hana. You left your ID card in the library. We need to confirm it was you picking it up. Don't want to get into the wrong hands. She stopped her sentence at an odd pitch, as if they already were in the wrong hands. That's really strange. I'd like to say a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders, but Shane-related guilt still hung over my head. Kakusu held up my ID and examined it, then looked to my face. Scanning. What? Kakusu emitted an odd beeping sound. Here you are. She handed me my card and signed her name off on the paper. As she did so, she squinted at me. You know, you look familiar to me. I do? Scanning databases. Is she a robot? Her eyes shined. I took an uncomfortable step back, wondering whether to run away. A sudden look of realization crossed her face. You are friends with Shane, are you not? Yes, I am. Why? Kakusu shook her head. If you are friends with Shane, then the information should remain classified.
What?
Why? Classified. I huffed angrily, but Kakusu didn't seem to notice. You're good to go. Take care of your card and enjoy lunch. I said my thanks and held my ID card between my fingers. A lot of worrying. All for this. Oh well, it was time to get lunch. I still want to know what the robot girl knows about Shane, but whatever. I was completely unable to find Shane during lunch. Apparently, despite being in class, his stomach wasn't still completely settled. The smell in the air made him feel nauseous, which meant I didn't have a chance to talk with him. After class ended, I tried to get to him, but the hustle and bustle of students blocked the way. Shane put on his bag and left the room before I'd even gotten halfway across. Those were the perks of sitting near the door. I wasn't about to stalk him to his dormitory, so instead Mai and I headed to the library to study as planned. As we walked, I held up my ID and smiled, just like in my picture. Look what I lost.
Really?
That was it? Oh, how disappointing. Don't get mad at me, but I thought it would be funny if I saw you in handcuffs being pushed into a police car. I had my phone ready to take an angsty picture of you and everything. Why would you expect that? It would have been badass. Maya looked off into the distance, daydreaming. I was fine with being the target of her felonious fantasies, as long as she didn't try to actually make me do anything. Oh yeah! She snapped back to reality and grabbed my arms excitedly.
Yeah!
They were talking about you.
What?
Who? What? Normal boots, right before lunch. As soon as class was over, John started talking to Shane, pretty loudly I might add, about how you liked him. They know? I mean, what did they say? What did Shane say? Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious at this point. Come on, Hana, everyone knows it. You've been doing so many things for him. They were saying the exact same thing. Shane just kept denying it. He didn't say anything else but no. Oh, there he is! He's standing right in front of the library! What? What am I supposed to say? Why is he there? Mai? She had vanished. I would receive no help. Shane gave a small wave as I approached. He was waiting for me, right?
Hey.
I stopped in front of him. Before you say anything, I just want to say I'm so sorry for making that fish for you. I really didn't think it would be that spicy. I've been worrying about it nonstop since. I thought I made you really sick. Mai suggested I visit you in your dorm, but that didn't go so well last time, and I thought it would just make you angrier than you already were, so... Whoa, okay, first, your fish did not make me sick. Jared gave me his cold. I didn't want to give it to anyone else. Well, that's a relief, I think. Second, it was pepper. It's not gonna kill me. I'm not a snail or whatever Mai's been saying. And just like that, all my problems are solved.
Really?
You're really fine? No internal bleeding or anything?
Yeah.
I'm fine. Stop worrying. It added a little spice to life. What, was that a joke? Did he actually just make a joke with me? He smiled. A real smile. But that's not what I want to talk about. I'm in an art class, and we need to have a full portrait done by next week. I was wondering if you'd be my model again. His hands were in his pockets. He wasn't looking at me. Nothing I wasn't used to. I almost instantly agreed just because it was Shane, but my discomfort outweighed the impulse. Well, I don't know. I wasn't the most confident in my looks. Modeling for practice was one thing, but an actual portrait to be seen by the whole art class made me wary. It'll only be a few hours. Anytime you're free.
Well...
I guess I do kind of owe you for what I did.
Right?
Yeah, you tried to kill me, so you'll do it? I was about to say yes, but then I actually started thinking about it.
No!
I don't owe you anything.
Well,
I didn't mean it like that. You've been mean to me since I got here. I've tried to do nice things, but it didn't have any effect, did it? You're still mean to me, so why should I do more for you? Well, I'm glad she's actually speaking up. Hana, it was a joke. No, I tried to kill you. Why don't you ask some other girl to do it then? Okay, actually that was probably a little harsh. Shane was quiet for a few moments, then mumbled an excuse I wasn't in the mood to hear. It's just that it's a school assignment, and your hair... What about it? It's weird, suspicious. Never mind. Now it's never mind. Whatever. I gave him no chance to respond, heading into the library where Mai was eagerly waiting.
Hey, what's up?
Is everything alright? You're looking kinda... tomatoey. Yes, everything's fine. Let's just study. I didn't have any contact with Shane until the next day at lunch. They were serving bacon-stuffed turkey wraps. It wasn't the kind of thing I'd usually go for, but beggars can't be choosers. I grabbed a tray and went to the back of the line. In seconds, Shane lined up behind me. He didn't say anything or look at me. Instead, a thick tension throttled the air between us. It was a little much for me to get angry at him, after he forgave me for setting his mouth on fire. Maybe I was too quick to anger. Maybe that was unreasonable. I wanted to apologize, but I didn't want to bring it back up. I felt like it would only make things worse. Shane sighed behind me, and my thoughts trailed back to his offer. Modeling for him the first time was fun, albeit a little terrifying. But maybe I could put the fear behind me. It was to help him with his project after all. Maybe he would actually start trusting me. Yeah, right. As if that was going to happen.
Hey.
I know you didn't give me bad food on purpose. Thank you for doing such a nice thing. Anyway, I'd been wanting to ask you to model for me again ever since the flower festival. I placed my tray under the glass, and a smiling cafeteria worker spooned me some steamed asparagus. Seeing my non-reaction, Shane changed tactics. I know you're peeved at me, and I'm sorry. The turkey wrap was placed on my tray, and after grabbing a glass of chocolate milk, I headed for the usual table. Shane grabbed his glass and jogged to catch up with me. Of course, by divine intervention, we were the first to reach the table. Alone. I was trapped. So, will you model for my project?
Well...
Hana, at least say something. I looked away. How should I respond? Oh god. Okay. Well, okay, I know that Hana is really feeling like she's being used, but I don't think I see it that way. I mean, I don't know, I think that if you sketch someone, there is a level of intimacy you have with that person. Like, to study, like, the lines of their face, and things like that. So, maybe it can be a way for us to get closer. So I'm gonna say sure, and she also was trying to apologize for being rude earlier, so I don't want to be rude again. Shane's eyes lit up. At this rate, Shane and I would end up in a stalemate. I wanted to help him after all. What good would come from me being difficult? So, should I, like, wear makeup or something? Do my hair? I've never done this before.
No.
You're fine as you are. Okay. Cool. I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning before class. I had no idea where else we would meet, and since I knew he usually came early, it seemed like the least awkward place. Neutral ground. Yes, bring your best face.
What's up?
Hey guys, what's going on? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Paul, Nick, and Josh all joined us at the table, smug smiles on their faces. Nothing, eh? Nothing. For some reason, Paul started laughing. He launched into an explanation of some kind, a petition for Shane to do more artwork for his campaign. You did the art for Paul's campaign pictures? That's actually kind of cool. Yeah. Of course. Who else would do it? Shane was really good at drawing, if he did those. Suddenly, anxiety gripped my heart. Tomorrow morning loomed large before me. I was both thrilled and terrified. I stood in front of the classroom that morning, heart pounding. My hair was freshly washed and as nice as I could make it, my face slightly dusted with makeup, my uniform neatly pressed. It was fine. It was just a quick portrait. How bad could it be? I reached a trembling hand for the door.
Anna!
Shane.
You're here. I am. You are. I am. We are. Okay. After you. Thank you. I stepped into the classroom, conscious of the stillness in the air. Dust danced in the sunbeams cascading through the windows. Shane shut the door behind him, then walked to his seat. Ready? He gestured to a chair in front of him. Already? We're starting? Well, what did you expect? Did you have something else to do? No, sorry. I crossed to the chair and sat down, stiff as a board. He pulled out a large sketchbook, flipped to a new page, then pulled out a packet of art supplies. He dug through the pencils with a critical eye, occasionally pausing, then shaking his head and moving on. It seemed kind of complicated, not to mention awkward. I had nothing to do but sit there and watch. Just pose naturally. Naturally? Don't bother smiling or anything. Keep your body still. Still? I sat up straight, hands on my knees, and tried to iron out my expression. The last time Shane drew me, he hadn't been so particular. Stop blushing. I'm trying. Shane sketched a bit on his pad, then glanced at me again. I said stop blushing. I'm trying, I can't help it. It's obscuring the lines of your face. I can't concentrate. Yeah, well... I spun around in my chair, staring at my desk. Deep breaths, Anna. Deep breaths. When I spun around to face him again, Shane was as impassive as me. I stared straight ahead, and Shane began to sketch. Turn your chin to the left a little. Not your whole head. Shane, my chin is connected to my head. I can't move one without moving the other. It was a little awkward. Shane wasn't good at expressing what he wanted, and I wasn't good at understanding what he meant. Tilt your head slightly. I tilted my head, and he nodded, turning back to his paper. This was weird. We weren't talking outside of him giving me orders, and I was afraid to move my mouth for fear of messing up his drawing. Also, my nose itched. I started to squirm, my legs tossing to and fro because they were the only body part I could actually move. Shane glanced pointedly at my legs, and I stopped. When he turned back to his paper, he glanced at me again. I'm not great at this. At drawing? Wait, am I allowed to talk? I already did your mouth. Just don't move your head. Easier said than done. I've seen your other work, though. You're good. Shane's paintings are up in the hallways, along with the other students. Not to mention the few comic pages he showed me. Portraits need personality to them, to the faces. He put his pencil down, then turned to me. Apparently, this information was so important it required a full break of his concentration. I smirked. The Mona Lisa is so expertly painted, you can feel the emotion and character of the model. That's why it's a classic. I had no experience with art, but thinking back to the portrait, I nodded. It always seemed kind of boring to me, but that makes sense. Shane glared at me again, but this time I didn't feel so heated. It felt almost affectionate. Your face is good. Is that a compliment? in the drawing, I mean. I'm sure. It's just, you have so much light to your form, it's hard. He went back to his sketchbook, putting a hand to his chin. Should I try something else? No, this is on me. I've never been good at capturing emotions. Shane looked so troubled, so serious, but the problem made so much sense that I almost burst into laughter. I clapped a hand over my mouth, trying to cover my laugh with a severe fake coughing fit. Don't lose your pose. Sorry. Spit caught in my throat. Haven't you done portraits before? Yes. That's not what I meant. I desperately wanted to glare at him, but I wasn't supposed to move my face. Instead, I channeled the annoyance into my eyes, trying to shoot him with an imaginary laser. I made a short comic once, in England, about a girl named Emma, her adventures and the funny things she did. I got some laughs, but I wasn't getting the right feeling. The right feeling?
I don't know.
I thought I would get better with practice. My skills improved, but not the emotion. Before I came here, I lost all motivation. I was about to make a comment, but something in Shane's face made me stop. He seemed pensive, or sad. You can't move. I'm mostly done. Oh, I'm sorry. You can move. I'm mostly done. I finally slouched, squishing my face around. It was so nice to be able to move. My muscles felt weird after holding them for so long. Wait. How long have I been technically able to move? Not important. Oh, see, he does have a sense of humor. He chuckled, leaning so close to the paper that I couldn't see his face. Maybe I just like looking at you. Oh, so now you're flirting with me? Okay, pick a lane.
What?
You... What? I'm done. He rolled his shoulder, leaning back for a better view of the page. Despite saying he was done, he continued scanning the drawing, eyes narrowed. How's it look? I tried to peek at the sketchbook, and Shane immediately shifted over to block my line of sight. Hey! He glanced at me, then at the portrait. It's not very good. But it's my face. Please, can't I see it? Shane turned to me, face set as if to tell me off, but when he saw my eagerness, he hesitated. Then he sighed. Don't laugh. He picked up his sketchbook, held it in his hands for a brief second, then turned it to face me. What I saw almost left me breathless. It was me. Of course, it was me. I expected that. But this... Shane, This is... I knew Shane was good, but I didn't expect this. Shane's face fell as I tried to figure out some way to describe it. I know the eyes are weird, and I'm thinking of adding more shading. No, it's great. Wonderful. A small smile tugged at Shane's cheeks. He put up a hand to try to hide it, but it was obvious. Right.
Shane.
Shane, you're so talented. I want to see your comic now. Do you still have copies? I threw most of them away. It wasn't that good. You should start again. I lost motivation. I had trouble with expressions. You can use my face. I said it before I even realized what I was offering. He looked intently at me, then glanced at his sketch. She does kind of look like you. Really? What was her name again? Emma. You two are alike, now that I think about it.
Really?
We are? You both get excited at the drop of a hat. Oh. Hold that face. He pulled out a notebook from his backpack, then lifted a pencil to the page. I stared at him in confusion. Wait, hold that face instead. His pencil skittered across the page. I wondered whether Shane's lack of skill with expressions was because he hadn't observed enough of them, or because his own range of expression was so concentrated. You drawing a comic? Not yet. 15 seconds later, Shane paused. Then he went back to his sketch, snickering. You're good. He smiled at me. A real, bona fide, genuine Shane smile. He was actually having fun, and I was taken aback. His eyes dropped to the page again, and his smile fell. With a tisk, he ripped the page out and crumpled it in his hands. Oh. Okay. I feel like I'm the kind of person that would... I'm inclined to stay silent, actually. Because... it seems like if he's trying to concentrate, I don't want to interrupt any of that. So, I think I'm gonna stay silent. I didn't even try to comment, just in case I made it worse. Shane shoved the paper into his pocket. Thank you. He put away his supplies, gingerly picking up the portrait. I need to drop this off. Without further ado, Shane stood and left the room, the portrait held out in front of him so as to not be smudged by his sleeves. I watched as the door shut, still sitting next to his desk. It was such an abrupt mood change. What happened? I crossed to my side of the room, pulling out a book. There was still time left for class, so I had to make a good use of it. But as I tried to read, I found my mind drifting. I liked Shane. Sure, he was rough around the edges, but deep down he seemed like a good guy. And kind of a lonely guy. I wanted to do something nice for him. After all, he was still so far from home. I knew how hard it was to miss your family. What could I do? Oh, chapter 3 already. Wow. Okay, so this definitely seems like a good stopping point. I'm starting to like Shane a little bit more. Like, he's not necessarily, I don't know, rude, but it just seems like he has a hard time communicating and opening up to people. So I'm hoping that we'll get to see him get better. Because he's a really pleasant person when he's happy. But anyway, we will continue our conversation about crumpets, apparently, in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.